Guys, welcome to May the Codes Be With You. My name is Lakshay and today we are going to discuss two problems from LeetCode to continue the series that we had already started. So the first question is called median of two sorted arrays, and as you can see it is a hard level question and it is question number 4 on LeetCode. So what we need to do is we will be given two separate arrays and we have to merge those arrays and find out the median of that array. So let's get into the question first, identify what is required from us and what we need to do and how we can proceed with it. So in example number 1 we are given nums1 array which consists of two numbers 1 and 3, and second array is nums2 which contains only one element which is number 2. And what we the median of this question is given to us as 2. So what we can do is we can take this array and take this array, we merge those arrays and then we sort those arrays and then we apply the concept of median. So whenever we have odd number of values inside an array, the middlemost element is the median, and whenever we have even number of elements in our array, the two middlemost elements averages the median. So let's consider example. This was an example for odd number of elements because total number of elements are 3. But in example number 2 we have four elements. So in this case what the median will be the sum of these divided by 2. So the average of the two middlemost elements, that is 2 and 3. So let's code this question and let's understand how we can break this question into several parts and proceed forward. So what we will first do is that we will create an array which is the sum of the size of the array nums1 and nums2. So let's call that array as merged, and the size of this array would be, sorry, nums1 dot length plus nums2 dot length. We will take a variable called size and store the length of merged in it. This will make it easier for us while running the for loop, so that we do not have to write merge dot length entirely. We will just use the variable name size for that. So what we have done in this case is that we have directly transferred the elements of nums1 into the merged array with the same index positions. Because there are no elements inside the merged array, therefore we can directly transfer the elements from nums1 to merged. So what we do for nums2 array is that, let's consider an example. So this is, for example, a nums1 array. I'll name it as n1 and this is n2. So what we do is we create a separate array which is called as merged, and it will have 4 plus 4, 8 elements inside it. So we directly push the elements from nums1 array into the merged array. So it will be 2, 3, 4, 5 as it is. However, when we are pushing the elements from nums2 array inside the merged array, we need to skip these positions that are already filled. So what we have done in this question is we have written I plus nums1 dot length, so that we can directly skip these 4 positions and move towards the remaining positions that are starting from this position. Okay, so since we started our for loop from 0, so from 0 plus nums1 dot length, that was 4, so we directly get this position, right? So we start filling in values here. I drew this extra box, that's not needed. So yeah, this will be the merged array. So we in short, what we have done is we have merged the two separate arrays into one single array. Right, after we've done that, the second step of this question would be to sort the array. So we'll use the inbuilt function for sort, which is arrays.sort, and given the name of the array that we need to sort, that is merged. Once we do that, we need to identify if the number of elements inside a merged array are odd in number or are they even. So remember, we created this size variable over here which stores the length of merged, so we'll directly use that. So in case if the size mod 2, that is if we take the modulus of the size of this particular length of merged array, if it gives us the value 0, that means the size of the array is even. So what we will do is we will employ the thing that we discussed over here in example 2, where there were even number of elements and the median of this question would be the average of the two middlemost elements. So we'll find out the middlemost elements and we'll take their average. Since you can see the question has a return type of double, we will have to convert our value and return the value in the form of double only. Only then would our answer be accepted, or else we could have changed the return type over here, but I would not recommend that since all the test cases are based upon the given return type in this question. So you have to divide by 2.0 and not by 2. Keep this in mind. And if the number of elements are not even, we directly return the middlemost element. So this is called typecasting. Right, so let's check if our code is working or not. Our code got accepted, our expected and the output that we have received are the same. So let's submit the code. Our code got accepted in 2 milliseconds of time, so that was great. Now let's move to the second question, which is also called as foursome, and it is a medium level problem, as you can see, and it is question number 18 on LeetCode. So what we are expected to do in this question is that we need to identify four numbers that add up to give us a target value. So for example, in this case, we are given a target as 0, and this is the nums array which consists of 6 numbers. We need to identify those set of numbers, which those set of 4 numbers that add up to give us the value 0. So first solution set is -1, 0, 0, 1. So all these four add up to give us 0. -2, -1, 1, 2. It also adds up to give 0, and this also gives us 0. So let's get into the coding first, and I'll explain side by side what we are doing and why it is required. We have similar type of questions for this particular problem. It is also called as two sum, which we have already discussed before. There's one question called three sum closest value, and four sum. So we'll discuss the four sum question first, and then we'll move on to the remaining questions in further videos. So what we do in the beginning is we create a list of integer type, naming it result or res. So it's an array list. Now we need to check if the nums array is not null and the length of it should not be greater than 4. Since the question is four sum, we need to identify four set of numbers that will add up to give us the target, which is 0 in this case on the left hand side in the example. So we'll check, we'll place a if condition for that. If that is the case, we return the empty array list directly without doing anything else. Now the second thing to do is we need to sort this nums array, because we cannot have repeating characters. As it is written, the solution set must not contain duplicate quadruplets. So we do not want repeated numbers. So what we are going to do is we are going to sort the nums array, and we are going to check if if for example we are starting from the 0th position, and if that number repeats, then the second number, if it is repeated, would appear next to it, right? So we need to sort it in order to check if this particular number has already been there in the list and it does not produce a duplicate or a redundant result. So this is the similar function that we used in the previous question as well. So arrays.sort nums will sort this particular nums array. So we will be using an approach which is called two pointer approach. We will be placing a pointer on the left hand side of our array and one on the end of that particular array, and we will be closing them in with each step. That means the left pointer will be moving in the forward direction, whereas the right pointer will be moving inwards to the left direction. So right, if you can see this question here on the left hand side, what I have done is I have used a nested for loop wherein our I would be starting from the 1, that is here, our j would be starting from 0, our left is on -1 and our right is on 2, right? So what we do is we will be placing a while loop wherein we check if our left is always going to be less than the right. While this condition is true, we will be proceeding forward. So if you guys remember the first video that we made for this series, which was called the target sum, so basically that question is being employed in almost all the questions that we are going to do in the upcoming lectures. So this is one of the questions that is based on that particular problem. What we do is we take the sum of I, j left and right. So that is 1, 0, -1 and 2. So that comes out to be 1, then it turns out 0 and 2. So the sum comes out to be 2, so we don't want that. We want our target to be 0. So we'll place a condition for that. If sum is equal to target, we'll create a new array list of integer type. I'll just name it L. And if this condition matches, if our sum is equal to the target value, which is 0, what we do is we push, that is add values to our array list. I'll just copy this, since I, j, left and right, all of them are going to be added. J, left, right. And eventually what we need to do is we need to push our result to the result array list of array list that we created in the beginning. So what we will do is rest.add, directly make a copy of L array list inside the result array list. Now we need to check for redundant values. So for that, we store the previous left value inside the variable left prev, and then we check if the conditions are satisfied, if left is less than this size and the element of the nums array which is at the left position is equal to the value that we stored in left prev, right? If that is the case, what we do is we'll increment the left value. So what it would do is it would skip that existing value which is already there in the array, which has already been encountered before. Now similar would be the case for right as well. So I'll just paste it here, change it to right prev. It should be right. And this right should be greater than the left, not size, since we already started right from the end position, so it will be decrementing its value downwards, so it cannot be compared to the size. It will always be compared to the left pointer that we had initialized, because it cannot cross that since we have this condition in place, left must be less than right. Right. So what we need to do is we need to decrement right. Now what we need to check is the first condition was if sum was equal to target. The second condition is if the sum is less than the target. We increment left. Why do we increment left? As it is a sorted array and it is in increasing order, what it will do is, if we increment to the next left element, that is we move towards the right as we increment left, it will give us a bigger value in comparison to the previous value. So it might be a possibility that the sum that we created over here exceeds or equals to the target. Hence, that is why we have incremented the left value. Else, we will decrement right. Why would we decrement right? If we are considering that sum was greater than the target, we need to reduce the sum so that it equals to the target, right? So what we need to do is we need to shift to a smaller value, that is from the right hand side to the left hand side. That is why we have decremented right. Now, once this is done, we need to check for duplicacy in the jth loop, that is this j loop, for j loop. So we need to remove the redundancy here as well. So what we would do is we would check for the breaking condition, that if j plus 1 is less than the size and if nums of j plus 1 is equal to nums of j. If that is the case, we increment j so that it skips the value that has been repeated. Now if j is done, we need to check for redundancy in I. It's the same thing that we did here, just replacing I for that. Now what we would do is we would return the resultant array of array list that we had created in the beginning. Right? Now let's check if the code is running. Yeah, our code got accepted. Let's submit and check the time it took to compute itself. So our code took 31 milliseconds of time. So yeah, this is in my opinion a much difficult question to code. It's not difficult, but it is pretty long and we have to code a lot for this question. But it's a medium level question. However, the one we did before was a hard level problem and it did not require much computation. So yeah, that was all. I hope you like the video and I hope you like the coding part of this particular problem that we discussed in the end. Please do share, subscribe, like and comment if you have any doubts. We will be posting more content soon. Thank you for watching our video.